So today I got a project. Excuse the messy ass house. I like to build stuff on my glass table, so yeah. I picked up a precat delete and J-pipe on RHNs on Facebook. Got a pretty good deal on it. And today's project is going to be making gaskets for it. You can obviously buy this stuff online if you want to. I wanted to try to make it myself because I've seen you can buy the whole sheet of material for a pretty good price and just make it yourself. And I don't have the proper tools to do it myself. I'm literally just using scissors and a drill bit. Just because the material I got, it's not the highest quality material, but it works pretty good. So on to what we're working on here. Okay, so I got the precats here. This is private label manufacturer PLMs. They're okay, they're used. I mean, I got it for a steal. So this right here is the first one I've done. I didn't do a very good job at it, but it works. A little off-centered a little bit on this bolt right here. But it believe it or not, it's nearly perfect for what I'm doing. So really it just kind of comes down to kindergarten tracing and then cutting and doing all that kind of stuff. So on my nice glass table where I got this metal where I can probably bust it in my lap here in a second, I'm going to show you. Put that down. So I'm kind of in the progress of tracing out the outline on this, and I'm going to kind of try to do from afresh, because this one right here, as you can see, I kind of messed up a couple of things. Those are not actual cuts, that's just where scissors touched. But I've learned a little bit from doing the first one. I would like to try to use this one if I can, but if I could do the next one a lot better, I'm just going to do it over again. I got plenty of material, as you can see here. I'm looking at the cardboard side, you flip it over, it's metal. So what I've found to be the easiest way is take it, place it on there, make an outline. It doesn't hurt to have a little bit of extra around, so you draw around and you cut around that. So you have a little bit of excess on the outsides. As you can see, it's got a really curvy line out there. I literally just kept it a straight line just to save myself some time. Ain't gonna hurt anything, not gonna hit anything. It's just gonna really give a little bit more space in the gasket and give me more room to not mess up. So you take your precats, get an outline of it, use a pair of scissors, and see, I'm literally just using a pair of scissors for this material. I'm wearing these out, but it works. You have to get kind of towards the bottom of the blade to get it to cut well. Just trim it out, and from there, what I did here, I took a drill bit. I have a drill bit which is the perfect size for each of the bolts to go through. I went ahead and marked each of these right here where I should drill at. I actually even took the precat and put it on top of it and then drilled through it just so I can be as accurate as possible. The first hole I did, which is the inaccurate hole, as you can see the black where I was supposed to be at, and I am over a little bit. That was where I just tried to put this down on a piece of wood and tried to drill, and it kind of skipped over a little bit because the metal. I'm probably gonna have to redo this. It took me a little bit, but yeah. So I'm gonna pause the video here. I'm gonna do a little bit more work, and once I get this cut out, we'll go from there. All right, real quick, I was gonna show when you do this, measure twice, measure 3 times, 4 times, 5 times zen cut. I did have to move it over a little bit, so in my head I know which line I need to cut off. I had to move over a little bit because as you can see I got really close to the border right there. The original line would have had me over, and I want to have at least a little bit more, not less. So make sure you just measure, take your time, don't rush it, just take your time and just get it measured up. So I have this right here is the size it needs to be. I'm gonna grab the scissors, I'm gonna start trimming, and we'll get back with you. All right, status update. So about a minute of cutting, and I got this far. I kind of rushed a little bit. Like I said, don't rush, you'll mess up and you'll have to start over again. I kind of cut that a little bit thin right there, but it ain't gonna hurt too much. But yeah, pair of scissors was able to cut through this material. This is what I got this at Napa. I'll show the brand later on. I'll have to flip this over. I don't feel like making a mess right now, but yeah, I've got this far now. Now I just gotta do the insides. And what I found to work well, you can either just go once you get the outline, but you can sit there and drill through this right here till you have enough room to get the scissors in there. And I have a tool somewhere. All right, so thanks for dealing with my wonderful editing. So I found the tool. This is what I used. I was looking at that. I bought this not long ago, and it actually fit far enough where I can get the bottom part, and I could literally just pinch it and cut it. But if you don't want to do that, you're welcome to just, once you get your outline, you can just drill through there until you have enough room on the inside area, because you have a lot of space. You can just keep drilling until you can get a pair of scissors in there to snip. So now I'm going to trace the outline of the inside, and I'll show you how I do that. All right, so there's a few different ways you can do this. The way I did it might be one of the harder ways, but I felt this was a great way to do it. As you can see, the top bolts are a little bit closer, the lower bolts are farther apart. So what I did, took a measuring tape. I don't want to drop this on my toe. Took a measuring tape, got the measurements of the spacing, and I marked it on this right here. Use it as a guideline to draw kind of a box, and then I got the edges. Now, see this little piece of paper here. What I did, I took a piece of just regular school paper. I laid it over this whole area right here, and you're able to see through it with enough light, and I just traced the whole border so I can actually get a nice smooth bend. So this right here, hard to see on camera, but it goes right perfectly with that. Once you have all your measurements and you make that box, you can then place this where it needs to be and draw the line and then cut. So that's how I did that. So I'm gonna pause the video and I'll be right back with you. Okay, so now I've got the inside drew out. I know which ones I need to cut on, so you just keep track of what you're doing. I do need to make a little bit of adjustments here. I kind of cheated and just used the other one as an outline. Once you get one done, you can kind of do that. Just make sure you're not going to mess it up. Use your noggin, do it the right way. I got some adjustments I need to make, but once you get all this right here in position, then you can start drilling through it and making room where you can get your scissors there and cut it out. So I'm going to stop here. All right, so now we're outside. I'm going to do this part here first. So I have I think it's like a 10 millimeter size. Big enough for the holes, so I can do the holes with it. I'm going to use that just to puncture through it. So at this point, just drill in the center out. Don't start all the way at the edge, because more likely you might mess up. Just start in the center. Get a big enough space that you can start cutting. So you'll see once I start the video back up, you'll see where I'm at. Alright, so this is kind of how far I've gotten. I'm trying a little bit of a different method here. I'm just going to do it long ways and get enough room to get the scissors in there. And once you get them done, you can start trimming it out. As you can see, it looks absolutely horrible right now. It's going to look like that till you get it trimmed out. So I'm going to go inside, grab the scissors, and start cutting, and then see how far I can get with it, and I'll start the video back up here in a few. So I wanted to start this back up because I wanted to just remind you guys that this is very hard. This is probably the hardest part of the whole job. If you have the proper tools, unlike what I do, it's probably a lot easier. I'm going to probably start trying to use that to cut little ends off, but my scissors are starting to get dull, so if you like the scissors, I would not recommend using them because you're probably going to ruin them by the time this is all said and done. Just take your time with it. I kind of got in a little bit of a hurry, and I'm kind of pissed because I might have ruined it right here, or it's probably not going to work. It's not cut all the way to that point, but it is kind of cut in outside of the border. I'm going to try to keep going at this. As you see, once you get started, it's easy. You get started at one part and just cut around, and it's not that bad. But getting started is the hard part. So just keep trying, and I'll see you guys in a second. Alright, so I've got that far along. As you can see, there's a little bit of damage. I'm going to try and hope that this works, but it takes some time. That little tool right there actually became pretty handy at kind of cleaning up the edges right through here. I do need to do a little bit more cleanup and make sure the fitment's good. If I grab this without busting my glass and just set it on top of there, you can kind of get an idea that as long as it's not restricting the flow. And look at that, beautiful. It's like perfect for that. That's about as good as you're going to get with doing it yourself, unless you have much better tools than what I do. So now I'm going to proceed on. What I'm going to do now is going to lay this down on the table, grab this right here without destroying my table here. I need to get a proper camera for this. So just lay it on the table, place it, and mark all your holes. Once you get all your holes marked, and you can take it outside. And I like to put the precat on it, so when I put the drill in there, it doesn't just slide all over the place. I can use this to kind of hold it in place and drill out each hole. And if you do it right, everything will work just fine. So we're gonna take it outside, and we'll go from there. And see you guys in a little bit. All right, so this part right here, I got it outside. I have it on this piece of wood. You just want to make sure you have it lined up very well before you start drilling. Measure twice, cut once. So make sure. See, I've got a little bit more lip on this side than I do on this side, so I'm going to try to push it in a little bit. Once you have it in a place that you feel comfortable with it, I just take the drill, put it in there like that, and hit it. So I cannot do that while recording, so I am going to have to pause the video again, and I'm going to try to drill these holes out. So I'll be back in a sec. Alright, so the holes are drilled. Did a pretty good job. I've got a little bit of cleanup to do now. I did kind of a good tip that I've discovered doing it. If you do it exactly the way I'm doing it, And you drill the holes to the back side, flip it over, drill the holes to the top side. As you can see, there's a little bit of metal still left there. If you flip it over, lay it down, put the J-pipe on top, and or the precat, not J-pipe, put it back on top and drill to the top side. It'll help clear out some of that clutter so you don't have a mess. And as you can see, it's going to serve its purpose. DIY is how you do it yourself and save a few bucks and waste your day. Alright, I'm going to put a pause again. So, okie dokie. This video's got about long enough now. I've got this one done. I think I'm going to just try to fly with both of these and see how they work. Put them side by side. Hey, it's not that bad. A little bit more cleanup here and there just to make sure, because you don't want any debris that's going to interrupt the sealing process between this and the exhaust. But if this doesn't work, I mean, it should work just fine as long as I didn't mess it up too much and make it up too much. But yeah, obviously not the best proportions, but it's still going to hold and seal tight without blocking any exhaust gas flow. I made sure that these are good, and I'll definitely check again to make sure that I'm not going to be interfering with the flow of the exhaust, because obviously when you change exhaust stuff, you want to get the best flow possible. So a little bit more cleanup I got to do, and this is pretty much, these are for the precats coming off the head. This goes right on the motor, and the precat goes on that, and it works good. Overall, I'm satisfied. The material I'm using here, my wife is going to kill me when she gets home. But yeah, those are done. Let me get this out of the way. Let me pause it real quick. Okay, so I tore out the sticker mostly, so I can't really tell what the brand is. It's some brand I bought at Napa. It's like $7 for this huge sheet of stuff when you pay like $7 a piece for these. So all in all, I feel like I'm doing a pretty good job saving money. It's saving money, but trying to do it right. Not saving money to just do it wrong. You guys might disagree with that, but hey, I wanted to do it myself. I thought it would have been an interesting project to try to make them myself, and so far it's actually been pretty fun. It's a day off, so I can just kind of, mess around and make this. But yeah, thanks for watching, and if you made it this far, I'm sorry I bored you out to death, but this is kind of how you make your own gaskets for your car. This is going on my 2009 Accord V6. I'm just doing like I said, I got a really good deal on all the exhaust parts from gentlemen on RHNs, and there's a few parts missing, like defowlers. I already went to Lowe's and bought all the studs I'm gonna need to put everything back together. So making the gaskets, so I don't have to order and wait for everything to come in. Even though by the time I get this put together, they probably already would have arrived, but I felt this would have saved me a little bit of money, a little bit easier, and guarantee that it's gonna be the right part. So I don't order something and it's like the wrong, which I mean I doubt it, but you don't want to order something and it end up being the wrong shipment. But yeah. Long story short, it's how you make your own gaskets. Obviously, if you buy them, they're going to be a lot nicer. But this serves a purpose. This works, and I'm happy with what I've done. So thanks for watching. You have a wonderful day.